What's up, everybody? I'm Tim number 37, and once again, thank you for tuning into the official YouTube channel for Hate the Hate. Hate the Hate is an awareness concert against discrimination, bullying, and hate crimes. As I've been interviewing all the bands and the hosts, I am now sitting down with one of my favorite bands of the last 10 years, KHZ. This is Pull, and this is Rihanna. What's up, guys, and thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Hi. Hi. But let me ask you guys something. Tell us a little bit about the history of KHZ and what you guys are all about.
Wow, that's a big question, the history of the band. I don't really know how to answer that. We've been around for a while. We try our best to do our thing and be as original at it as possible. That sums it up, I guess.
How would you describe KHZ's music? Because it is quite the eclectic.
I think that it really depends on which era of us and which album that it is, because we've kind of traveled into different sounds and different styles. So I think, again, it's really just us. We've worked really hard to create our own style, our own sound, and I think, I couldn't be the one to come up with what to call it, but I think it's just us. I think KHZ is just what we do. KHZ
is what they do, and they do it well. Trust. So, obviously, thank you for taking part in Hate the Hate. Let me ask you guys, what made you decide to take part in this event, and what are your views on hate crimes, discrimination, and bullying?
Well, my take on hate crime and bullying is pretty much that it's just a horrific, horrible thing to do, to feel. But for me, it was a little more personal because I've actually 90% of my friends are gay, and I've seen and I've heard what that's done to them, how they've been discriminated, and how it's affected them in their lives for being who they are. And so I felt that this was like the perfect opportunity for me to stand for them and be their voice. So when you came up with this project, I felt that it was a perfect venue for me to just support them and really just be there for them and stand for them, basically.
Awesome.
I think that it's easier. Is that okay? I think one of the things that was important to me about this, one of the things that doesn't get talked about a lot, is that it's the other side of it. I mean, it's obvious to say that bullying is bad to do. Hate is a bad thing. Discrimination is a bad thing. But I think what I wanted to get across was, for those that it happens to, a message that's not given enough is to be confident in who you are, to really try and understand the power that confidence brings. The more confident that you are, the more you own who you are, the more you appreciate and respect who you are. It's such a big statement that it makes it difficult for people to bully you, because bullies are usually, they see something that scares them, something that makes them afraid. And bullies are more afraid than anybody else, and that's why they do it. And if you have a certain level of confidence and ownership of who you are and believe in who you are, which I know is difficult to do, especially when you're younger. When you're younger, this world isn't made for unique people. This world is not made for people that are quote unquote different. That's why it's so important at an early age to learn to really believe in yourself and have confidence in yourself. Confidence is incredibly strong, and it will usually scare a bully away. And there's an important saying that bad things happen when good people stand by and do nothing. And I think another thing that should be spoken about is that, forgetting about the fact of, again, stating the obvious, that bullying is bad, hate is bad, but we as people shouldn't allow it to happen. If we see something going on that's wrong, we should do something about it. And we should stand up for those that can't stand up for themselves. And sometimes, like I said, a lot of times these kids are young. They don't know how to have confidence. They're not there yet. They're not ready yet. It's up to us to be there for them. So I think an important message about this is, I think hate, unfortunately, will always exist. I think discrimination and bullying will always exist one way or the other. But it's up to us as people to get in the way of it and do what we can to stop it in a non-violent way. Yeah.
Well, I just had that one word to say, but to pretty much diffuse it, because if you allow what they do to bring up anger within you, then you're just as bad, because that is not going to solve the problem. I think it's more about educating and just instilling that you don't have to fight back in that manner, And I think that's what you were trying to say, correct? Yeah, and I'm going to hand the mic over to the talker.
I don't know how I feel about that. I think the other thing that I wanted to get across was how important communication is. That when you are somebody who's being bullied or discriminated against, to talk to other people, to find somebody that you can trust. Because that's another thing that's a powerful statement, is when you keep it to yourself, they have more power over you. The minute you bring light to it, you talk to other people about it, especially even if it is online. There's a lot of online bullying because it's so much easier. Bullies are, again, they're afraid. They're weak people. They like to bully online because it's even that much more removed. They get to hide behind the computer and not actually do it to somebody's face. And it's important when this is happening to you to bring it to light, to talk about it. Don't keep it within yourself. And I think with what Rihanna was saying, too, about doing it in a nonviolent way, a lot of artists, if not all artists, are in one way or another somewhat tortured. It doesn't have to be discrimination. It could be a lot of different things. And we find out that through art, we can explore those things and talk about them in ourselves a safe way, where it's not really directly talking to somebody else. Maybe it's hard for you to talk about it. Maybe you're embarrassed about the way you're feeling, but find a healthy outlet for it. Put it into something like music or art and share that with other people, because I think that when you do that, you will find other people like you, and then you will find friends and family and people around you that are just like you, and you won't feel so alone. Because I think the worst thing is to feel alone, and you're not alone. There's so many others like you, and that's the most important thing. Be confident in who you are. It's okay to be who you are. Whatever it is, it's okay to be who you are, as long as you're not hurting somebody else. Talk about it, communicate about it, and find a healthy outlet for it, and surround yourself with others like it. And I think that you'll find that you're a lot less alone than you think.
You covered a lot of my questions, so I don't even have to ask them, which is awesome. But one thing I do have to ask on the topic of KHZ, what does the future hold for KHZ? What can people expect in the future to come from?
Do you want to talk or am I?
No, you can.
Great. I guess the best way to put it is we're about to start another chapter. The band, as we spoke about briefly earlier, it's always kind of been in phases, and right now it's time for a new phase. We're really excited about it. It's something we've been thinking about for a long time, but we've been so busy actually playing and doing stuff that we haven't had a chance to kind of work on those ideas. And with Rihanna's injury taking her out of the game for a while and putting us on hiatus, gave us a chance to regroup and start thinking about the future. And so I'm not sure if we're going to play again for a while after this show. It might be the last show, at least this year. And we're about to head into the studio right afterwards, March 1st, and start working on new ideas and new things. But it's definitely from this point on, I think it's going to be safer to call us a project than a band. You know, it's going to require a lot of different elements of what we do to pull them all together. And I just don't see us going in and like making an album and then doing that same course of action that bands do. I think it's more of a project, and it's going to incorporate everything that has to do with entertainment, art, and media. And so we're looking forward to getting started on that. So this might be the last show for a little while.
Well, thanks for being my show then, especially as a big fan. But let me ask you something. With the new phase coming and everything, where can the fans and people find you guys and keep in touch with you and follow what you're doing?
I would love to say you can go to facebook.com/KHZ, but we don't have one of those. We have like 5,000 numbers. It's not like you can find us on Facebook by searching for KHZ, but I don't even know what the actual URL is because we didn't get that name thing. The website is thekHZ.com. We have a new launch of the website coming out in March as well. Yeah, that's right, YouTube. Why don't you just tell everybody where to find us?
Just go to youtube.com/thekHZ and watch all their phenomenal music videos, because this man and the band, especially this man, is a genius when it comes to his ideas and incorporating them from what he sees in his head onto actual video. So thekHZ.com, youtube.com/thekHZ, and keep in touch with them. Check them out and follow what they're coming through, because trust me, as someone who's been following them for a while, they never cease to surprise and amaze. On that note, thank you guys so much for sitting down with me and doing this interview, and thanks for taking part in Hate the Hate.
Absolutely, our pleasure. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I love my friends. But
it's a warm moment right now.
It's a Kodak moment. I'm Tim, number 37. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you this coming Saturday, February 26th at Tammany Hall, 152 Orchard Street between Stanton and Rivington. Doors are at 6 p.m. It's a $15 cover. Come catch all of the amazing bands: KHZ, The August Infinity, Star Killer, Acey, Slade, Ghosts of Eden, King Hell, and a special acoustic performance by Krista, and much, much more. Tim, number 37 here. Thank you.